What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. God, I fumble on my name. First line in the show, I'm already fucking it up. With me is co-host Matt Reed, and today we've got New York artist, writer, producer Remy on the show. Remy,
Woo,
welcome.
What's good?
I like your name, the Metro Zoomin.
Oh, yeah. I started in the pandemic and I always forget that it's there. And then, sometimes I'll have like a very important thing and I'll jump on and it says Metro Zoom in and I'm always like, oh, God.
That's good because for those important, meetings
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. But usually it's like music related. So they get the Metro Boomin like pun usually if their music and if they appreciate it and then some. But every once in a while, they're like, who's Metro Zoomin? And you're like,
excuse me, can you, and Mr. Zoomin? Can
yeah,
you
Mr. Zoomin?
Mr.
Zoomin?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
I hope that happens at least once, if it happens.
Yes, not yet, but I'm I'm ready.
A really awkward
Mr. Zoomin.
Mr. Zoomin.
And you just gotta run with it.
Just run with it.
It's short for Zoomenheim.
Yeah, that would be great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Just like really like play it out.
Yeah, I'll lean into it for sure.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. It's how you do these things nowadays,
For sure.
Go full bore. So you just released your newest album, What's Yours, What's Ours, on Hopeless Records on June 2nd, which is an acoustic collection of previously released songs. How's the response been for it so far, and what made you want to record an acoustic album?
It's been great so far. I mean, I think the reason we did it, there's a bunch of different reasons, and I'll go through some of them, but we have been like kind of changing, moving the project around and kind of just exploring different, like just sonic world and stuff like that, and just kind of trying to just experiment a little bit. And we have found that the music has been kind of just shining in a really simple form, and also the music that we are gravitating to, listening to now, also carries that acoustic guitar. Like, the music has always been guitar driven.
Yeah.
I grew up playing guitar. That's like my main instrument. Like, that's just like I used to do like every coffee shop in my hometown and just cover every band and John Mayer and Ed Sheeran and just like just the Beatles. And
love me some John Mayer.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Yeah, he's the GOAT. But we and so we just kind of, it's funny how life is just full circle, and we've just been finding that, like, we went down these other avenues and explored all these different types of music that we wanted to make and listen to, and we just find ourselves kind of coming back to what got me into music in the first place, which is just kind of like good well-written songs and strong guitar driven music. And also a lot of our favorite bands like Starting Line and Fall Out Boy and just and Newfound Glory and Ryan K and all these bands that we loved do like acoustic projects. These used to do acoustic versions and stuff like that. And sometimes those are like more, they kind of stand the test of time a little bit more even now, and became some of my favorite versions of those songs. And so we just kind of wanted to have that experience. And on top of all that, I would do acoustic videos on YouTube and post the clips on TikTok. And every time I posted one, it would be like, please put this version out, I'll get comments like that, like, do this. And on YouTube, people are saying like, where can I listen to this? And it just was like, why not? We were really, excited about the music. And as every creative goes through, we'd put a song out and then we'd go back and we would think to ourselves like, I wish I could have changed this, or I wish I could have done, you know what I mean? Like the moment it's out, you're like, oh, I should have changed this one thing. And we just, so being able to kind of go back and redo some songs was like a really exciting thing as well. And just, being able to kind of have the songs that maybe would have not been interesting to some people be more interesting to just new audience and all that stuff. So that was the long answer. I'm not sure if
It's
that's
a
what you
great
wanted,
answer.
but
I do. I love long answers.
awesome. But yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's great. Like I like both versions. It's cool because there's two different versions that are completely sonically different.
Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of what we were trying to go for. Just like I said, just kind of put them in a new world and allow people to hear them in a different context, and then kind of bring them into their lives in a different context. Like maybe songs you wouldn't listen to in the morning, maybe now you would. Like with coffee. Maybe now you would listen to it at the end of the night. Maybe you would listen to them, in a dimly lit restaurant. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like they just have different context now, kind of. So
just get that shit in like a fancy like Olive Garden or something.
Yes, the dream restaurant, the dream location, obviously.
The OG.
Yes, the OG, exactly.
Oh shit! That I don't know. That was the only thing that popped into my head, and I'm like, "Fuck it, go Olive Garden."
Patrick's a diehard Olive Garden guy, just tatted in Olive Garden.
Oh my gosh! No, speaking I almost got a Chipotle burrito tattooed onto me.
Wow.
I wanted to.
What are you is it that serious for you?
Personally, I just love burritos. Love burritos.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember this, but there was a time when Chipotle was super supportive of touring artists. And there was a short stint to where if you had a Chipotle tattoo, they would give you free Chipotle.
Wow. That's huge.
If you were in a touring band.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I was going to do it. I wish I would have.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
I wouldn't regret it for a second. I got a Care Bear tattoo. What the fuck do I care?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. It's never too late. It's never too late.
It's true. Get some flowers around it. Make it really classy.
Make it special. Make it special.
Put my wife's name in the burrito.
Oh. There you go.
That's beautiful. True love right there.
That's true love. That's true love. It's true love. And you never specify which one you would pick and what inspired the tattoo first. You always say it's for you. I got the tattoo for you.
It's for my baby.
That's it. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Before making your own music, you started out writing music for other artists, such as the Chainsmokers and AJ Mitchell. Have you always wanted to make your own album?
Yeah, it's funny, like those projects, it happened. I always knew I was going to do music. That kind of, I knew I wanted to do it. And I knew that I would find a way to make it happen in some capacity. And so, when I was younger, I wrote my own songs. And it's funny because nowadays, like writing songs for other people now, like it's just not like the way it was even 10 years ago when like there was like Max Martins and like these types of like massive people who would write these songs, and then people would come in and just cut them and leave. It's now it's so much more collaborative now, in the sense that all the biggest artists, I mean, that's not exactly true, but a lot of the biggest artists have a hand, at least, or like they're involved creatively. And so, for me, it just kind of was like, okay, I'm making this music, and what's the best way to just get it heard? And like, if somebody else is singing this song, I'm proud of it and I'm excited about it. And it just makes people aware of what I can do and the type of music I make, type of music that I'm excited to be a part of. And, I kind of just followed that path and did my homework as to like where, type of artists and what they look for, and type of writers, type of producers, and who wrote this song, who wrote that song. you know, that's always been really exciting to me, is like who produced that and who made that, you know. And once I realized, wait a second, some people don't write their own songs, that was like a mind-blowing moment.
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
You know,
I
I'm sure for everybody, you know.
I remember my first one that I realized. My I do. I remember it. I remember it was Aerosmith, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And I remember
yeah.
that and being like, "Wait a minute. They didn't fucking write that?"
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? It's you know, I think because the reality is that's without Aerosmith, that song, you know, being the people that they are, that song, you know, it's a beautiful song, obviously, and different
Yeah.
versions have happened, but they are instrumental in making that song what it is. And so, you know, and like I said, now it's so much more collaborative that like now that I have my own project, I'm finding people are coming, and which is the best case scenario in my dream scenario. People like the music and they're like, hey, can you do what you do for you and what you like to do, but and just kind of sprinkle it onto this or sprinkle it onto that. And so as opposed to me stepping out of my comfort zone, and which happens in all time and is not, you know, not really an issue, but just like now I'm finding people like what I do in when I get to be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And it just, so I think, and that's exciting to other artists too, you know. And when I see another artist that I like, I'm like, hey, I love what you do, like this is the music that I make, like let's try and do something together. Like it's just, I just think having my own kind of outlet has just opened a lot of doors, and for collaboration in any capacity, whether it's someone else singing it or me singing it or singing it together, like it's just, it's been a great it's just been a great like journey into finding that sweet spot, which just, you know, moves back and forth. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and speaking of like your journey, like so how did you get started even writing like songs for other people? Where did you get that start?
Yeah, so I was always writing songs. I was like the co-president of like my songwriters club in high school. Like I was like it's like deep in it on some nerd shit. And my dad's a musician and all that stuff.
There you go.
So I but I was actually, I was an assistant at Republic Records.
Okay.
And this was some time ago, and I just, you know, was kind of like just doing assistant work, phone calls, emails, all that stuff. And was just, I was in the city, I was in New York. I moved there right out of school, and I was just like kind of networking at the time and just trying to be respectful, because at you know, when you're in a business like, you know, especially a very successful one like Republic is, you know, people want you to, you know, be there to work, you know what I mean, like
Right.
as any job would.
Absolutely.
So I was just trying to be respectful of everybody's time and stuff like that, but I was also just like on the internet and just like meeting people. If someone came in, and a lot, the reality is everyone there loves music, you know, like
Yeah.
everyone in that whole and the whole building is universal, right? So it's like you could go up and down and you could just meet people, and people take meetings, and you know, you just happen to meet people. And I met my A&R at Sony there.
Okay.
And so she heard some of the music that I was working on, and they were developing this act at the time, and they liked the music there, and they signed me, um, gave me a publishing deal, and yeah, and it just kind of went from there. Was able to kind of do music full time at that point, and I just was jumping into sessions and, you know, doing stuff, and I stuck it out in New York, which is like very rare. Um, but I was fortunate enough to kind of make it work. Um, and yeah, I just started doing that, and eventually I came up with some music that I thought felt like that I didn't really want to part with, and it became the project that is the like Remy project. From there.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's wild. Like just
Yeah,
it's fucking wild.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
circumstance, bro. It's just luck, dude. Like
Makes
you know, you could be very talented and everything, and all that stuff, but you just, you know, it's just time and place. But they say, you know, luck is preparation meets opportunity. So
Right. I mean, there's more that goes into it. I mean, you got to have that talent. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just right place, right time. You know,
Right.
you have the talent. So
Right. So, you know, I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate in those circumstances, and yeah, I've been, you know, just continue to be very fortunate, and then I've been able to keep it going thus far. Somehow, somehow.
I'm there's reasons how. There's reasons how.
Right. Right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
When it comes to writing, recording, producing, promoting, what part of the industry do you like the most, doing the most, and why?
I mean, the writing, I would say, just the most fun. I mean, like for me at least, like, you know, there's some people who like to get nerdy with it and fiddle with knobs and
Mm-hmm.
fiddle with EQs and stuff like that, and that's like the most boring part of it. And I saw an interview with like Diplo, and he was saying the same thing, that like producing a record is like just low key kind of sucks. Like it's like people like it. Like some people really like it, I guess, but um even they are aware of like how tedious it is, and you have to appreciate that part of
Right.
it. You have to really appreciate, like, you know, I like my friend who produces all the music. He's like one of my best friends. He's like in my wedding and shit. Like,
Yeah.
he'll send me a version of a song that we'll do, like, and it's like, you know, it's like you and me together is a problem, like point like 23. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened between like 5 and 6? Like, who? And he's just like, yeah, I was messing with this version, I did this other version, and like this and that. And it's just like, it's mind blowing. Like, what? It's just mind blowing. But I, you know, we're working on a project now, and something that I'm really trying to like focus in on is just being, is maybe kind of like being more patient. I think, you know, a lot of the music. So he's my homie's in LA, and a lot of the music that we did was kind of like me recording here, my setup, and here in New York, and sending files back and forth. And so it was kind of like revisiting stuff is kind of difficult, and reopening stuff, and that's a lot of what producing is, and great writing is like kind of revisiting stuff. And a lot of the songs, not that they're what makes it better or worse, because sometimes if you catch something in a moment, it's like, that's, you know, one of my biggest streaming songs, which is Leading Me On, but I'm not mad about it, is like, we did that in like sitting us on the couch. I think I was laying on the couch like this, like laying back. Like, I think we just were like fucking around, like, and it's one of my best streaming songs, and it was a complete accident. And which I feel like a lot of things happen. But I've really been trying to come to appreciate some of the more, like, revisiting and going back and rewriting lyrics, and being like, look, like, this lyric was good in the moment because you wanted to get the idea down, but like, can you just make it better? Like, take an hour, go back and review it. But, you know, it's just a different beast. And so the writing has always been where I've kind of been like, okay, this is like the most spontaneous, the most exciting, the most lightning in a bottle moments kind of happen to me. And even now, writing and producing are kind of so close, right? Like, I track the guitar and stuff, and track all my own vocals, and lay shit down, and that's producing. But like, you know, like, it's also writing, you know what I mean? So the line is very blurred. So the more technical aspect, but then, like I said, once it gets to like making sure the EQ sits, and making sure my vocal sits in the mix, like, I'm like, it sounds good. And he'll send me, you know, version 25, and it'll be like, it's game changer, bro. Like, I really cracked the code on this mix. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can really tell. Like, I know. And it drives him crazy. It drives him absolutely crazy. But I'm like, dude,
I love
can't
that.
tell, man.
I have friends that are like recording engineers and stuff, and be like, yeah, check out this new mix. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome. So was the last one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I don't hear it. Like, sure,
I know.
It's great.
And sometimes, like, you know, and I feel like this must drive. I can tell it drives my boy crazy when we'll hear a song that like is fucking going crazy. It's like fucking went nuts on TikTok, or it's like doing something, and we like listen, and it just sounds like garbage. Like they recorded it in the fucking bathroom, and like it just sounds like shit, and it's going crazy. And he'll be like, nobody better ask me to do another revision on a mix ever again after this song is going so crazy. And it's just so, I don't know. It's just funny, man. It's a funny business that we're in.
So yeah, it is, because I mean, like, you'll get those. Sometimes that's the sound people want to hear at that time. It just,
Of course.
Or you could be Metallica, have garbage can drums, and
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "This is what I want," and you're like,
Yeah.
"No one else want that though."
Yeah, no, you never know. You never know, dude. So
You
yeah,
gotta try. You gotta try stuff.
That's what I'm trying to be, personally trying to be better about trying stuff and revisiting and editing, and maybe the first version could be better, and sometimes you're like, yeah, it's not, and then you're like, okay, well, that was good. I'm glad that we tried.
Yeah, so like that's one of the things. So I was curious about, like, everybody writes differently. When you're writing, how does it look when you're writing? Like, is obviously the first product typically isn't the final product.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just like, it's just comes from chords, like I think usually I write stuff down all the time. I see a lot of people do that on their notes app. I have like a notes app that is upsetting to look at, even for me, and it's just like little phrases, and it's like,
yeah,
just little things that I think are cool, like, oh, that would be a cool thing to say, or like, this is something I saw or something I thought about, and like I just write it down. And usually what happens is either I come up with something, or somebody sends me something, and I've written so many songs at this point, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs. And so when somebody sends me something, I'm like, it's like so refreshing. Like I like when people send me stuff, because it's just, I instinctually comfort zone play certain types of things, and that's good. And when I needed like another like Remy song, I can kind of crank them out. But like it's always exciting to get something new from somebody. So somebody will send me something, or we'll be in the room a lot. Obviously I do sessions, a lot of sessions, and someone plays something, somebody pulls something up, and immediately, if I can hear kind of melody references, I start with melody first, because it's just instinctual. And I think a lot of people do that, and then I just kind of go from there, and whatever kind of the vibe is, sort of this kind of music is inspiring, is kind of, I could just kind of chase the feeling. And lyrically, it's like, it just depends. Like a lot of the music that kind of, when I was first, the foundation of the project, when we were first kind of kicking it off, I remember like Lil Peep was just kind of starting to go, and like GFUEL was like starting to go, and I just remember us being like, holy shit, like pop punk like is so fucking back, like we did it. Like we endured the hard winter, like where it was like like it was like really refreshing. And we just did like a huge deep dive on just all those bands that we kind of like slowed down listening to, and for me, a lot of those lyrics to me kind of were like, obviously like super depressing, obviously, and just like very like a lot of teenage angst and just all that stuff. And so that really inspired me lyrically. And like the 1975, I'm like a diehard 1975 fan, and like I like for me, I like to say the project is like, if Drake was in the 1975, it's like kind of like what I want it to be. And so those lyrics are super self-deprecating, and like Maddie Healy's drug addict, and it's just rich parents, drug addict, like living in the city, like what more rock star energy do you need? So like just try to channel that. And so we made a bunch of songs like that, and now lyrically, like I'm married 2 years ago, and we're just moving on, moving in life, and lyrics change. There's still like a frustration that comes from chasing dreams and trying to build a life, and just all those things. But the lyrics just grow as your life changes, and I kind of just let let what's happening in my life kind of dictate what I talk about. And sometimes I want to channel older shit, and that's fun too, to kind of zoom out for a second and be like, remember this moment in your life, and building from that. That's exciting too. But yeah, it comes from all those types of places. And sometimes people send me shit too. So
it's kind of tough to let, it's tough to write like a breakup song and shit like that when you've been married, for like 10 years and stuff. It's like
yeah, dude. I mean,
it's like, what was that like?
Right. But then you write about, well, I think it felt like this, and that's kind of like where it comes from, or
right.
A lot of things like I've seen that Pete Wentz used to do, like where it was like a moment, like very brief moment of like a frustration of some capacity or like whatever, and then just blowing that, making a whole song about just that like second, like it was just a moment where my wife and I were in a fight or about something stupid, and I like, and then you write you channel that moment, you're like, okay, this is, now you get a whole song out of that feeling, and it has nothing to do with how you feel as a whole, but it's just like a little
just a moment, just
a blip that you can kind of use for like creative fodder,
right?
So that's usually how it kind of comes together.
Hell yeah.
You stated in an interview with AP that you related more to alternative artists because the biggest artists were just people singing about how they don't fit in and don't have it figured out. What artist inspired you the most in regards to wanting to write to your most authentic self?
Like it really depends. I mean, I like loved like Fall Out Boy. That was a huge influence on me, and Relient K. Like I when I think about like my pop punk influences, it was like Relient K, Fall Out Boy, Motion City Soundtrack, Starting Line. Like those are kind of like my like tentpole people that I came back to a lot,
Sure.
and obviously I listened to a lot of other artists as well, but those are kind of those people. But also like I don't know, it's like everyone does listen to so many artists that really change things for me. And I think of like John Mayer, like I mentioned earlier, was a huge influence for me when I went to high school. I didn't I don't want to date myself on your podcast, but when I was in high school, I remember it was like the MP3 players were like just kind of kicking off, and I just really didn't have like I think the iPod was like, I think we had the color one was like about to come out or something. Like I remember I had a Zune, like I was in the streets with the Zune, like I remember that was a game changer. And but I just listened to my dad's music like for so much of my childhood, and it was, which is great. I learned the Beatles and Elvis and Sam Cooke and just Beach Boys and a lot of like greats, obviously. But I remember I was in high school and they were just in the halls, they were playing that John Mayer Room for Squares album, and I remember being, what is this? Like what? And that was like one of the first times I heard like music that's on a CD that like my dad had, you know what I mean? And it just broke down the barriers. And I remember that was like a huge moment for me. And then, discovering rap. Like I never my parents are older. Like and I'm an only child. So it was like, there was nothing in the house like that. We'd listen to 96.7, which was like our oldies station.
Sure.
And it was like all of a sudden it was like Kanye. I was like, oh, like what is this? Like what
early
is
Kanye,
this?
for sure.
Yeah. It was like, whoa, like that like blew my mind. And then, I think in senior year, maybe late junior year, it was Drake. I remember Drake kind of popping up, and it was like, whoa. And so all these kind of like different artists had their own perspective, but and I always made music my whole life, but I feel like after I had time to kind of do songwriting like professionally, kind of, I was able to kind of go back and listen to all those artists and be like, this is, and like really be able to like appreciate kind of why I liked them so much when I was younger, you know, like as opposed to just being like, this song is fucking sick, like, you know, like now I'm like, oh, he was doing shit that no one had done before, or like, you know, like they were changing this, like, and then the 1975 came out, and I was like, when I was a little bit older, and I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome, like he's making fucking, you know, like 80s like emo music, like what, you know what I mean? So having that experience and kind of made me like be able to see like, okay, like these people are talking about, you know, being losers and like, but it was like cool, you know, like it was like, and like being able to look at that moment and be like, because when I was younger, I wasn't listening to Starting Line being like, they're cool because they're losers, and but they're like talking about, you know, not getting with girls, and like, you know, like I didn't play sports, you know,
relate to it, you know.
Yeah, like I didn't play sports, I wasn't that guy, like I just, you know, like, so now that I kind of like, when I start to make my own music, and I'm fortunate enough, you know, for better or for worse, that I'm a little older, when I started doing my own project, like for real, that I could be like, no, this is what I like. That they talked about being, you know, vulnerable, and they talked about, you know, and even Drake was doing that, you know, like Drake was talking about girls breaking up with him, and like, you know, I remember people shit on him then, like, you're, you know, with Marvin's Room, and about like being bitter that a girl broke his heart, like, you know what I mean? And but it was so sick. And you know, so looking at the being able to identify that those artists that I love so much were so vulnerable, like was you know, I was fortunate to kind of have that type of force or hindsight, you know.
Hell yeah. Like it, that makes me think, like, I didn't listen to a whole lot of rap and or anything when I was younger, especially, but I remember I wanted I just, so you know, I also date myself every episode, so you're
nice
good. You're good.
Okay, good. Safe space.
Yeah, this is a safe space, because I'm gonna date myself right now. And the first hip hop album that I had was on cassette. I did the cassettes, all right?
Wow.
Crisscross. Totally crossed out.
Nice.
I still have it. I still have that cassette. I love it. It's so good.
That's awesome. Awesome. Did that have Jump on it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was Jump. That was back, you know, back when they were wearing their you know, backwards pants.
Craziness, bro. Absolutely. Some trends deserve to kind of, you know, be leaving the past. Some not all trends need to come back.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no good way to go to the bathroom that way. You know,
no,
it's
logistical nightmare.
And it didn't really look cool, and it wasn't comfortable. I can't imagine. I didn't do it. You know,
no, a little silly, but work for them.
My dad bought me that for my birthday because I really wanted it.
Hell yeah!
And then he sat and listened to it with me.
That's a good dad. That's a good dad.
He's a fucking great dad. He's a great dad.
Awesome. Right around Father's Day as well. So shout out. Shout out. That's awesome.
So,
that's awesome.
We got one more quick question before we go. One more question before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your journey, what would that be?
What would that be?
Mm.
That is a good question. I mean, it's kind of corny, but you know, it really, I feel like the corny things are corny because they just happen all the time, and people, it's true. But like, you know, like trust your gut. You know, kind of go with your gut. You know, and you know, there's like a lot of cliches. Again, same thing. They're cliches for a reason. But like, you know, like just if you just are moving forward and you're just taking a step, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. You know, that's kind of like, if it's what you want to do, if it's you gotta do it. You just gotta do some sort of put yourself out there in one little capacity, because it's just it's the butterfly effect. So
Right.
I would say just to take that first step. Take that first
Just
step.
try. Just go for it.
Take that first step for sure.
No one's saying you got to drop like thousands of dollars on a whole bunch of stuff, but just try.
No. And it's free now, but like it's free. And now I would say if you were making music now, if you are not on TikTok, posting every single day on TikTok, it's free. Now they have the picture thing. You don't even have to be on video now. Now you could just post pictures and text. You gotta be on TikTok. That's the number one thing I would say to anybody making music. Go on TikTok.
As long as it's not banned in your state.
Right. For now.
Go on TikTok.
For now, go on TikTok if you can, because there are careers happening people going from nothing to something, and people going from something to extraordinary on TikTok. So
I've seen it.
Yeah. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Agreed. Great advice. And on that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our next segment. What's up, friends? We're super stoked to tell you that we just partnered with GFUEL. And let me tell you, there is no more pop punk beverage on the market right now than GFUEL. GFUEL keeps you energized, focused, and hydrated. If you go to gfuel.com right now and use code Unsigned Pop Punk, you're going to save 20% off your entire order. You can get it in the tub form and have 40 freaking servings of flavors like Rick and Morty's Unstable Portal Fluid, which is a delicious strawberry limeade, or get something in the can form like Sonic's Peach Rings or Crash Bandicoot's Wumpa Fruit. Go to gfuel.com and check it out for yourself. Let us know what your favorite flavor is. And once again, don't forget to use our code Unsigned Pop Punk to save 20%. It's a heck of a deal, man.
Do you love music videos and miss when MTV, VH1, and Fuse all actually played music videos? Then join me, Gibby, as I host a super awesome music video show on Twitch every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Unsigned Pop Punk Twitch channel. We play the best videos from up-and-coming pop punk, emo, alternative music in the scene, so join us every Thursday and find your new favorite band.
All right, and we're back. Now it's time for the good old food for thought segment, and I thought really hard about this one for you. I wanted to come out swinging, and so living in New York, an obvious question is going to be about pizza, food and pizza. But let's throw a little twist at it. So let's say, right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they're real.
They sure
what
are.
New York pizza place are they fucking with the most?
I feel like this is going to be such a lame answer, but my favorite at the moment is a place in Soho. It's like right off the 6. It's Champion Pizza. It's kind of a chain. It might even be a chain, but owned by one guy. But like,
okay,
you walk in, it's got like 100 people's, like all the famous people's like pictures. It's like it's like a very small place, but every time I go there, it's just so consistent. And yeah. I want like a plain slice. Like I don't need maybe I'll do pepperoni, and if that's the case, I want the ones with like the little curl. They like curl up.
Yeah, just the little ones.
Yeah, like that's the ones to get. And they do them there, but that has been like, if I'm going into the city and I'm going downtown, I'm like, maybe I'll fucking swing by there, because it's just always fresh, and they get so much foot traffic, so they just got like fresh pies, like, because they're busy. When you walk in and you see it's flat and it's looking cold, and it's like, and you could just tell they're gonna reheat your shit. It's like, yeah, and it's never like that when I go to Champion. It's like right off the 6, and so that's like my place right now, I would say.
Nice. Hey, I'm gonna give a side question. See if you know, because this might just be a me thing. So this champion, right? Champion pizza.
Yeah.
What would one bite knows? Everybody knows the rules. Dave Portnoy, what's he rating it?
What would he rate it, or what did he?
What do you know if he already went there?
I think he has an app where you can look it up.
Yeah. I'm sure he does. Yeah, I think he does. The One Bite app or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a lot of great pizza. I would say. I mean, I personally, I would go an 8.1, 8.2. Like,
Okay.
I know you're saying best pizza in all of. I just know there's so many other places.
Oh,
that
I'm not even saying best. I'm just saying what are the
safe,
Ninja
like,
Turtles?
like
what are they fucking with?
Safe, like you're gonna be very, walk away extremely happy. Is it the best slice of pizza in New York City? Like, there's just too many slices. Depends on the day, catch them. So I would never claim that spot, but it would be the place I would tell them to go.
Okay,
Personally,
Love it.
nice.
I
That's
gotta play safe. Gotta play safe.
You
I
did.
don't want to upset anybody.
You definitely played it safe there, because I mean, if any other New Yorkers are listening to this, they're gonna be like, "What? He's saying this to the best?" And you're like,
Right. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody.
you gotta be careful when you're talking about pizza.
You sure do.
Can't have the turtles getting food poisoning.
No. And my wife and I last year, we went to Italy for the first time, and we had never been. We talked about it, like, going, and we finally went. And I went the pizza. The first thing was, we gotta have the pizza. Sucked. That I'm not worried about offending anybody in that respect, because it sucked. It was like floppy, and they used fork and knife. It was like Goofy movie, like hanging like that.
That also
like,
kind of like from a Goofy movie though. Like,
yeah,
the Goofy movie's version kind of looked like it was really good though.
Oh, see, I don't like the melted. I need like a firm, like crispy, crunchy. Like, I don't like. I'm like a little bit of a picky eater, where like, if
you don't
if
like a lot of flop.
I don't like no flop. Like,
Okay.
I want to be able to, like, in half, like crispy, like I tell them to burn
Like
it when they
Totino's,
cook
huh?
it. Yeah, I'm like, I want that shit, to crack down the middle. Like, that's what I want.
Oh,
And so, like, we went to Italy, and I was so upset. So upset.
and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if either of you know, but I don't think pizza as we know it is actually from Italy.
No, that's what I was told.
Yeah.
When I came back and was so upset. Everyone was like, "It's because it's not Italian pizza."
It's like an Americanized version of what they did. They created something completely different, but like it was using ingredients and a base of something from Italy.
Right. We're not perfect, but we definitely got this one right. I'll say that.
Italian Americans.
That's it. Just nailed it. Nailed it with that one, guys. Keep it up. keep up the good work. Keep up the good work with that. My wife's Italian, so we eat a lot of Italian food, and
so
great.
Did she know then about
not like she? I think we had like a suspicion, but we just thought like, hey, like, I told him, like, please, like, burn it. Like, I literally told him, burn it. Like, fucking roast the shit. And they just wouldn't. And like, and then, like,
we don't burn in Italy.
Yeah, I just was like,
we make good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was a bittersweet situation where, after like getting it like maybe once or twice, I was like, but that being said, the rest of the food was mind blowing. Like, we just, all we did was eat, and I was never full or upset. Like, they just have it was like the best probably some of the best food I'd ever had, probably,
That's
but
awesome.
just not the pizza.
Just not the pizza.
Just not the pizza. That's not the pizza. I took an L on the pizza,
That's okay.
but everything else was mind blowing.
You can't win them all. Can't win them all.
You really can't. So
We want you. So next question. We want you to describe your music using only descriptors normally used for food.
Like spicy, salty, crunchy.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. I will say it's it's hard. It's hard. Because the first thing that came to mind, which is like kind of embarrassing, but was sweet. That's kind of like, especially the acoustic one is like pretty, like I wouldn't say like saccharine sweet, like not like candy sweet, but like you know, it's got a little bit of that. I would say sometimes a little bitter. There's definitely a little some bitterness. I would say for sure, and especially in some lyrics there, some lyrical bitterness.
Oh yeah.
Definitely have enough to be bitter about. Was there a number of words that needed to be, or
whatever
just,
whatever you feel?
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I didn't even realize I did it completely by accident, but that together is bittersweet, and I would say that's pretty accurate. That's
right there.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. I was a complete accident, by the way. Just happened. But yeah.
There you go. That's the next song title for you. You can have it.
It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I know Kanye and John Mayer did it already, but listen, with can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with the title like that.
I mean, it's not like they trademarked bitter.
For sure.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. We have one more food for thought question. This segment's significantly shorter, but these are hard hitting questions though.
They sure are.
This last one, you have the opportunity to create the Remy meal at your favorite fast food or quick service restaurant. What is the place and what goes into the meal?
Do you know what's crazy is that just a few short days ago, I had this exact debate with some of my friends and my wife. I'm gonna try to remember it. So the way I will. So wait, the rules is from just one place, or you can pick from any place, right?
One place.
Oh, okay.
One place, and what's the meal?
Okay. Like you can put changes everything.
Yeah, you could pick from like how McDonald's is doing like all those random things.
Yeah.
Okay. Meals. You can do that at any place.
Okay. I would do McDonald's.
Okay.
I would do McDonald's because they have the best fries.
Oh yeah.
And they have a McFlurry.
Yep.
Which is my favorite of like the desserts. So what we did was pick a chicken item, a burger item, a fry item, a drink, and a dessert from any, and make the ultimate fast food from each place, right? That's what we did. So most of mine were from McDonald's. So I did the fries from McDonald's, the McFlurry.
Okay.
I probably would do like so I'm like kind of lame, but I probably would do like, I don't know, like a 10-piece with like 10-piece nuggets.
Okay.
Like I just fucking love the nuggets.
What's the sauce for it?
Ooh.
What is the sauce?
There's only one right answer.
Oh man. Oh man. You know, I'm gonna go. Maybe my Doritos suggestion might have given it, but I might do that. Like they have like a sweet, sweet chili,
sweet and sour sauce.
Sweet and sour sauce. Yeah.
Matt, was that the right answer?
That wasn't for me, but we.
Oh well.
What was yours?
You're
What's
wrong,
yours,
buddy? You're wrong.
What's yours?
It's hot mustard sauce.
Oh my god, man.
Oh. No, sweet and sour sauce. That's the way.
Sweet and sour is just. Yeah, I'll probably do that, and I guess I would do like a a burger. Like I guess I would do like some like one of their like a Whopper or something. Just in case you
Like
wanna
a quarter
get your
pounder or something.
yeah, just in case you want to get your cholesterol up.
Yeah.
Just want to get those rookie numbers up. Just put it over the edge there. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's probably what I would do. And I guess maybe like a Sprite. I guess I don't really like soda that much.
Sure.
I'm kind of lame in that capacity. But I hear the McDonald's Sprite is like I've had it like maybe like once or twice. That it's just different. I just hear it's like
It is a
people
little different. You know what else is I feel is different at McDonald's? Their blue Powerade. Blue Powerade's different.
interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Actually, that's a good mix. But I don't know if I would want that with like a burger. I guess maybe you do. I don't know. I'll
Very
stick with the
refreshing.
Sprite. I'll stick with the Sprite.
Would your McDonald's meal have an ad slogan? Do you have the slogan picked out?
like what? Like a ba 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 type situation,
Yeah, I don't know.
or just like a slow like just like a
We be zooming. I don't know.
Mr. Zoomin.
Mr. Zoomin. Yeah.
Mr. Zoomin presents. Mr. Zoomin presents. I don't know what the slogan would be. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about a slogan, but the Mr. Zoomin presents is definitely a contender for me. I would say in this moment and to be on the spot.
That's a good on the spot name. So
yeah, I like it. I'll go with that for now.
All right, if you think of something later, it just pops in. Just yell it out.
I will
All right.
definitely.
All right, that is the end of the food for thought segment. Now it's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
And all you're gonna do here is you're just gonna speak from the heart, gonna shoot from the hip.
I'm ready.
Go for it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, this might be a little tougher because you just told us that you don't like soda very much. But Mountain
bounce
Dew
back.
or Mellow Yellow?
Probably the Dew. Probably the Dew.
You gotta do the Dew.
Because you gotta do the Dew.
Yeah.
Probably the Dew.
Horror or comedy movies?
Comedy. I'm a soft little bitch. I do not like to be afraid. I do not like the feeling of fear. It does not work well for me.
I like this. This is not an either or question, but do you actually still listen to the radio?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just downloaded Sirius XM actually a couple days ago.
Okay.
Because I am so like particular about what I like to listen to, and I'm driving a little bit more now, and I found that I like to be able to like not be my choice.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I get that. I feel that.
So I have, as of late in this, it's funny that in the past couple of days I have just been doing Sirius XM for a little bit.
Yeah. I knew.
I know you knew.
I've been watching.
I could tell. That's hard hitting journalism right there.
Yeah. Some call me Mr. Lois Lane.
Some do. Just some.
Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
That's fucking hard.
Yeah. These aren't they're not easy.
That is really hard.
What's your heart tell you? What's your heart just scream?
My gut was my immediate reaction was Cartoon Network, but then I realized, then I started to really think about the GOAT shows.
Yeah.
And it was like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Hey Arnold was literally like, is one of the best cartoons of all time.
Ren and Stimpy.
I think like Avatar is on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would go Nickelodeon.
It's fair.
I think I'm good. And Danny Phantom, was that Nickelodeon?
Yep.
I think so. I mean, come on. Yeah,
I think so, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Although Cartoon Network had some goats, but
yeah, sure did.
Nickelodeon.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Thin crust or regular crust pizza?
Depends on how much it's toasted, honestly. Depends if it's.
If you got me a crispy regular crust,
I would probably prefer a well cooked regular.
okay.
Probably.
All right. Now this one's gonna be probably pretty tough now.
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid?
Tara.
Tara.
She was in Scrubs, which I love.
She was in Scrubs. That you were not the first person to bring that she was in Scrubs out.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of people never. I get shit on for loving that show. I loved that show.
Great show.
But that show's great. Who doesn't like that show?
Haters. I got haters. Got a lot of haters out there.
Tell them to grow up. Just say grow up.
I've been telling them.
People who eat floppy pizza don't like that show.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
Exactly
you
right.
like it. You like the flop. Get out. Grow up.
Yeah, grow up. Get it together.
We got two more: Newfound Glory or MXPX.
Newfound Glory.
All right.
Easy one for me.
Easy one for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this one, we're gonna test your jingles knowledge. As far as I know, it reaches out there. So,
Okay.
Can you sing for us the O'Reilly Auto Parts jingle?
I don't know if I can. I'm pretty good with jingles. I'm pretty good with most jingles.
I'm gonna give you. I'll sing you a little bit and see if it catches.
Okay.
Oh.
I was gonna do it something like that. Is it like O'Reilly or something like that? Is that
Yeah.
it at all?
Yeah.
That close? Was that it? Was
Yeah.
that it? But you gave me the whole half, so that doesn't really count. But I'm pretty.
It's the O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. What about Education Connection? Do you guys know Education Connection?
I don't think I have it up here. Matt is, however, in the bigger part of Minnesota. He's in Minneapolis. I'm way up north in Duluth.
Okay, got it. You don't know it's Education Kids. Okay, there you go. It was like a 2 minutes like song. It was like, when you gotta got me for free, you gotta get a better salary. It was like a 2 minute.
I don't think
commercial.
so, but that had to have cost a lot of money.
It was
2
like
minutes?
it was like a whole song. Like it was a very long.
Jeez.
I know my jingles.
I think the next Remy single should just be the Education Connection cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just do a cover.
I just might.
We've been talking. We've talked to a few different people, a few different guests now about like we should just put together a pop punk compilation of jingles. We'll just
That'd be hysterical.
jingle covers.
That'd be. Some people would have some work. I would have a whole 2 minute thing. Some people get JG Wentworth 877 Cash Now, and I get stuck with Education Connection. So you got
You're like, I have to do like a whole song. This guy,
yeah.
turkey over here's got 7 seconds. This is
Yeah.
bullshit.
I'd have to see the track list first. I would say, and then I'll commit.
Sounds good. I think we would leave it up to everybody's discretion. You know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you wanted that 2 minute song, that's up to you. It's up to you.
Listen,
But I mean, you'd be the
it's the single though, right? It would have
kind
to
of be the superstar. Like,
as long as it's the single.
it's the only one that could potentially go to radio. So
Right there, you go. That's we run a business here, so
we can't send 7 seconds to the radio.
right. So there you go. So I'm back in,
All right.
just like that,
just like that, he's back.
and just like that, I'm back in.
Got him.
Every time I try to get out,
Really back in.
they fucking pull me back in.
That's it. But that's it.
Awesome.
You did it. You finished the podcast. Now's the chance. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you. What's next?
Well, you can find me on anywhere that you stream the musics. It's Remy, Remy. I just put out a project, What's Yours, What's Ours. But before that, Could the Grass Be Greener? Before that, You Only Call When You Want Something. If the titles are long, you are landed on the right place. That is me. Is That Remy? ISTHATREMY on anything social. And we are deep in album mode. I have my producer homie coming out here for about 3 weeks. We're going to be working on a bunch of new music. We got a lot of it done already, so hopefully we'll get something out before the end of the year. We're looking at some dates for some shows in the fall that I'll hopefully be able to announce soon when we have confirmation. But yeah, thanks for having me and thanks for hanging and it was a pleasure.
Hell yeah, dude, the pleasure was all ours. Thanks so much for hanging out, chatting with me and Matt.
No problem, guys. It's a blast.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Love it. Likewise.
Hell yeah. So Matt and I, we're gonna hang out for a little longer. We're gonna dive into the unsigned pop punk news, and that'll come with this jingle right here. What's up, peeps?
Welcome.
Pat. Welcome to the Unsigned Pop Punk News. Your favorite show hosts. What'd you like about this episode? Tell me in depth. Leave comments, paragraphs long. I want to read. I will read it. I will.
I want you to hit the character limit on whatever
hit the character limit.
Hit it. I want you to just don't make your dreams be dreams. I want you to hit that character limit.
Yeah, dang right. Join us on Discord. Thinking of don't let your dreams be dreams. You know, let your dreams become reality by hanging out with us on Discord. Join our Discord. It's fun. Links are in the description. Yeah, it's awesome. Matt, hit him with that gender equality.
You know, I know. Right now, as we're recording this, it is Pride Month. And with that being said, 15% off of every purchase of our gender equality shirt is going to be donated to the Trevor Project. If you have not seen our gender equality shirt, it's a beautiful shirt. It comes in a couple different colors. It says gender equality is dope as fuck, which fuck yeah.
Darn right.
If you don't know who the Trevor Project is, their mission is to end suicide among LGBTQ youth. So help us supporting this amazing cause and support saving young LGBTQ lives.
Heck yeah. It's a good thing. Do good things. Good things come to you. I find that out on a daily basis. And sometimes bad things can still happen to you, but that's okay. That's okay. That's just a part of life. That's a part of life, and it's okay. And it's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
But hey, yo, Punk Rock Flea Market. It's happening. It's coming up. Music, live music, and a whole load of vendors. You're gonna have some food. The Oasis del Norte. Get yourself some tacos. Oh, it's gonna be so good. You could travel around, get some beer. If that's your thing, there's breweries all over the place. This is right in the heart of the brewery district in Duluth, Minnesota. It's super fun. It's gonna be awesome. Come hang out with us. Matt's gonna be there. Pat's gonna be there. That's his eye. We're both gonna be there. We're gonna be hanging out and partying. And then there's an after party at Duluth Cider that you can come to. And guess what? Mr. Portside Dive, Matt Reed himself is gonna be playing.
I will
Play. And I'm gonna watch him.
He's gonna watch me. He's gonna cry.
I probably won't cry, but I might.
He might. You won't know if you don't go. You won't know.
I am a crier. I will cry. Things make me cry. It's true. And that's okay. It's okay. I wear my heart and my emotions on my sleeve. And I'm okay with that. So come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. Twitch news. You know, we got all our shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
New Music Friday on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Wednesday, get your vote on, top 10 video countdown. Vote for your favorite music videos each week. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Go vote. Go
Do
vote
it.
for your favorite video.
Oh.
You are what make these bands' dreams happen. You, the voter, go vote. Thursday is a super awesome music video show. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/unsignedpoppunk. And that, my friends, is the way the news goes. Thank you again to Remy for hanging out with us. Gosh, something in my throat. Thank you again to Remy for hanging out with us today. Thank you to my homie Matt for hanging out with me and being awesome. Thanks to Super Gibby for doing his Super Gibby self, hosting and making dreams come true for other people. Thank you so much to Lawrence Crow for doing all our awesome art. If you need awesome art done for you, check out Lawrence Crow as Lowe's Crow Illustration. You need good website stuff done? Electric Kiwi. They do the Unsigned Pop Punk website and a crazy amount of other super awesome websites. Like, they are magical human beings. Love me some Electric Kiwi. So hit them up for all your website needs. Thanks to all of you for listening and supporting what we do at Unsigned Pop Punk. And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Deuces. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you so much to those of you who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else you stream your podcasts. If you're in the position to help us grow and like behind the scenes access and exclusive shows, head on over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thank you all so much.